we're talking about the next year, and vision is so important. This training got put together because we have a call with you Monday through Friday called the Breakfast of Champions, called BOC. Mindset, skill set, leadership, so many cool things. We have it on bocpodcast.com. You can watch it live or on replay. And we have this call with Cindy McKnight called Dear Diary. I'd encourage you, if you haven't listened to that, listen to it. She went raw. She went real. She always does it. Like, you can just take notes on how Cindy trains, and she brings out the deep crevices of her heart and she unveils it to the world and lets you in. Vulnerability is key. Authenticity is key, right? She shared this, and that call exploded. Like, people were just like bawling. People were like, oh my gosh. And they were empowered. They were inspired. She talked about how to set vision. And actually was talking about her best friend and business partner, Lindsay Yoakum, her goal on what's called a personal, intentional impact statement, or chief definite aim. And I had to bring her back up because she gave us a link that I will give to you guys as well too on how to build this. Who here, by the way, has ever set a goal for the new year? You were well-meaning, and then a month or two in, you look back, you're like, it's kind of under the desk, right? You're like, let's just forget about that, right? We all have. But Cindy set a goal that took her from 300 a month to over 40,000 a month in 1 year. And today she was able to join us while her son is in a track meet, and she's joining us from her mobile classroom and office. I know, look at that. Cindy, thank you for joining us. How are you, sister? I know, her phone just
There we go. There we
there
go.
you are. Yes.
Oh
Hello.
my gosh. I am so excited to be here with you guys. I love listening to you, Sarah. Really took away some nuggets as to how you're growing your network. You guys, you should all be taking tips from that girl, because she has just exploded over the last few months here. And to hear that she was super private on Facebook, and to grow in such a scalable way too. The way she does it, every single one of you on this call can go into it too. And I just love tips that duplicate, and that is a super duplicatable tip. So it's funny, I don't even know where to start, James. I will tell you this, you guys. Let's start here. Times got messed up today, and I was supposed to be at home at my desk with all my papers and materials in front of me. And my son, he's 15, messed up the times. We got here 2 hours earlier than we were supposed to be, which means that we're here 2 hours later than we're supposed to be. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to do this call. I don't have anything. I need to be there. I've committed to this. What am I going to do? Right. And I'm searching for this pivot of how can I show up in a way that is effective. And it's amazing because we all hear, this catchphrase that we've seen all over the internet. We've heard each other say it, is that, God laughs when you make plans, because the reality is his plan, is my belief, is always so much better and so much more beautiful than anything that we could ever start to orchestrate. And because of this pivot, it forced me to really think back to some different tools and resources that I could bring to you today that would be effective and pack a very powerful punch. So much so that on that original BOC call, I could not find the paper that I was looking for in it. And God just told me I needed to focus on Lindsay. And I believe that I was led to this moment right here. It all makes sense now. I'm going, oh, okay, this makes sense. Because it forced me today to think of different things that I have put out there, different things that I have shared on social media that I could go and grab on the go from my car. And it brought me to a video, that a Facebook Live that I did back in 2018. So to give you guys a little bit of perspective, if you've not seen or heard the podcast, if you've not heard me speak on this before, I fell into network marketing by accident. I always say that I was straight out of options. The opportunity that I jumped into at the time was free, and free was about all I could afford. My husband had just taken $100,000 pay cut. He went from making a little over $150,000 a year to about $43,000 a year. I was at home with babies. I was not working. And if I did go back to work, it would barely cover the cost of daycare. So, being in that position of wanting to help contribute to my family, I signed up with a network marketing company. And I did not even know what network marketing was. I had no idea. I just knew that if I sold, one of these and I purchased one of these for 20 bucks or 10 bucks and I sold it for 20, I would make $10 retail profit. And I jumped in because I was truly just in it to make $100. I was like, if I could sell 10 of these, $100 goes a long way in my life. I mean, say me in the comments if you've ever been in a point in your life where $100 was the difference between eating and not eating. I mean, that's where we were. I was like, if I can put gas in the tank, if I can help with groceries, we were massively in debt, and it was just, things were just spiraling out of control. So I jumped into network marketing, and I heard about an event. I love that you started this call with events, because I heard about this event that was happening, and it was in a chat group. People were talking about this event and how much fun it was going to be, and party, and the last thing that I had in my life at that time was party and fun. I was severely stressed. I was overweight, unhealthy, really unmotivated in a lot of ways. I had no purpose or passion. I felt like I was living my life to wash everybody else's underwear so that they could go out and live their best life. Just the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. That's how I felt. So I thought I could use a little bit of fun. Thankfully, I scraped together enough nickels to be able to get to this event. We roomed with about 8 people in a 2-bedroom, or I'm sorry, a 2-bed standard hotel room. I mean, we were like 3 to a bed, people on cots. I mean, it was insane, just packed like sardines. And I'm so thankful that I went for the fun, because I was not going there to change my life or be massively inspired. But I will tell you what happened. What happened was, as I'm sitting in this convention center surrounded by thousands of people, it was dark and there was loud music playing, and they started recognizing people at the top of the compensation plan. First question I had was, what is a compensation plan? You guys, I didn't even know what a compensation plan was. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know how to maximize it. I had no idea. Okay. So I'm watching these people cross the stage. Okay. One after another: Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, old, young, male, female. And I open up my phone and I'm like, what does this mean? And I open up my phone and I Google, what does the average person at the top of the compensation plan make at this company? And the number that I saw absolutely is imprinted into my brain forever and ever, for all time, because it was the defining moment for me that led me on a completely different path that I had no idea that was even available to me. It was $40,109 a month. A month. And I thought, this doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense in my head. There's people out there making $40,109 a month. Like, my husband's making $42,000 a year, and he's got a professional career. He's a commercial airline pilot, he had just moved over to JetBlue. You guys, by the way, starting year pilots, they don't make much. Okay. So there's lots of mistruths out there. But anyways, I digress. It didn't make sense to me. And I just kept watching, and I fell into my seat surrounded by people. I didn't have a team. I was a team of me. And I just started sobbing. with relief, with hope, with belief of if these people can do it and they are just like me, then why can't I? Just kept asking myself, if them, why not me? If they can figure this out, why can't I? So I go home. I'm on a newfound mission. I was going to go and make $40,109 a month. I had no idea how I was going to do it. I had no network. I had a friends list of 309 people at the time. Most of them were extended family and some high school acquaintances that I had lost touch with. I mean, no network, no experience, no skill set, no money. And I thought, I'm just going to figure it out. And at the event, people were talking about personal development. Put personal development in the comments, okay? Personal development. If you don't know what that means, then you're going to hopefully take something away today, okay? I didn't even know what that meant. I knew that in order to be successful, then I needed to go develop personally. So I go home and I literally Google like most common, personal development book. Okay. And a book comes up and it's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'm like, that must be the one that I need. Right? It's the very first personal development book that I've ever read. So I get this book and I start reading it. Phenomenal book. Just to give you kind of an overview of who Napoleon Hill is, he made it his life's mission to study successful people and to look for commonalities between all these different people, all different professions, careers, businesses. Some were scholars, some were, successful business moguls. It didn't matter. He was studying the art of success. And what he found was that the people who were the most successful were super, super clear on what the end goal was. What the end goal was, and they constantly reminded themselves of what that end goal was, how they were going to feel when they hit it, and what they were going to do when they hit it. And then the other piece of that was that they always took daily consistent action towards reaching that goal, no matter what. Okay. So I read this book and I decide that I need to write what was referred to as a definite main purpose statement. To tell you a little bit about what that is, it's essentially a future diary entry to yourself. For instance, if you were to write one today on, I think it's December 21st, right? 2024. If you were to write this today, you would date it December 21st, 2025. And it forces you to sit down and think about, what do you actually want to happen? So many times people are just waking up every day like it's an accident. You have no idea what's going to happen that day, that week, that month, that year. Certainly not thinking 5 years, 10 years, 30 years from right now. And because people don't stop and actually think about, what do I want? If I could wave a magic wand over your beautiful heads, what would that look like? You're waking up December 21st, 2025. What are you waking up to an alarm clock anymore? Are you clocking into a job that you hate anymore? Are you retiring your spouse? How are you spending your days? What are you looking out outside your window? What do you see? How do you feel? How does it feel to make that phone call and pay off that credit card that's been haunting you for years? What is that emotion going to feel like? Forces you to think about what it is you want. Okay. It also forces you to address head on where your weaknesses are. We all got them. We're all human. Okay. We're all imperfect. We're never going to be perfect. We all make mistakes. We all stumble. We all fumble, right? But when you sit down and you write a future diary entry to yourself, it helps you move through those stumbling blocks. It helps you move through those obstacles. So what I did is I sit down and I wrote down a future diary entry to myself in February of 2018. Okay. no team, no nothing. And I put the most audacious things on this piece of paper. Like, how crazy of me to put these things, my soul's desire, onto paper like this when I was a team of one, a team of me. Then in June of 2018, by that point, I had started to grow a team. It wasn't massive. I was making about $300 a month at the time that I read this to them. It took me a few months to gain the courage to actually read what I had put on paper. But I had put this challenge out to my little baby team to not only write it, but I also encouraged them to go live and read it to everybody. And it was one of the most powerful exercises that any of us had ever done. Talk about vulnerability, about sharing the real and the raw. It was, well, the reason I know now that I couldn't find that paper during that BOC call, the reason why the timing was wrong today and I wasn't prepared was because I found that recording from June. I believe James has the screenshot. June, I want to say 18th, 2018, that I read this on Facebook Live in a training group that I had started. And we're going to play it for you today. And it is, it's gut-wrenching. It's vulnerable. You see the person that I was in this moment, which is so much powerful than me reading it at this point in my journey, right? Me reading it in my chapter, 47 versus my chapter 1 is it's a very different experience. I've actually had to watch it a couple times already to kind of desensitize myself to it because it just puts me right back in that place. When I read this, and as you're watching it, I want you guys to understand that it was a future diary entry to myself, and that at the time of reading it, I maybe had a team of, I don't know, maybe 20 people, maybe, okay, maybe, and making about $300 extra a month. When I read this, when I wrote it, I was a team of me. And I think so often we convince ourselves that in order to be a leader, in order to lead other people, in order to be a voice of authority, that you have to be at the end version of yourself. And that is so far from the truth that if nothing else, you walk away today is knowing that you're a leader by your actions, by your intentions, by your integrity, by the way you speak life into people, by the way you speak belief into people, and the way you speak belief into yourself and over your lives. Okay? So, without further ado, it's just as hard now to share this as it was to record it live in 2018. You're going to see a different version of me. I was very young in my network marketing career, brand new to leading other people, but I knew that if nothing else, if I was telling other people that they should go and do something, that I needed to put my butt on the line and do it too. So by this point, there were a couple of people who had already read theirs out loud on Facebook Live in our little training group. And now it was my turn. So future diary entry. I will tell you guys just a kind of a little bit of context here is that 9 months later, after this, I had hit my goal of $40,109 a month. The very next month, I more than doubled it because of the beauty of this industry and the power that it has to transform your life. So here we go. Get your tissues.
So I just wanted to start by saying that I am so proud of all of you girls for jumping on here and pouring your hearts out to us. I know that this isn't easy. I get on all the time. I go live in here all the time. Megan Elizabeth, it says you want to go live with me. You want to go live with me? Let me see. Guys, I'm in Shine Bright, right? Just give me confirmation that I'm in Shine Bright before I go into this. Can you guys do that for me? I want to make sure. I think I'm in the right place, but it makes me a little bit nervous. Julie, am I in Shine Bright? I am, right? But I wanted to say that this is not easy, okay? I know that doing this is very, very hard. I go live all the time, and this is probably going to be the hardest video I've ever done in here, because it's really hard, you know, to pour your life out there, and it's easy to go on. I'm sorry, I have a glare. It's easy to go on and talk about, you know, work stuff or how to get better. And thank you, girls. I feel better. But it's really, really difficult to get on here and pour your heart out and kind of talk about the places of our lives that are the most vulnerable. And that's what these definite main purpose statements are, right? Our most vulnerable, the reason why we do this. So I'm going to read it to you. I'm probably going to cry my eyes out. I should have gotten a tissue. Julie, you're going to hate this. I'm sorry. So I'm going to go for it, okay? Because you guys have really, really motivated me to do this. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this because this was really for you guys, but you know, if I'm putting a challenge out to you and I want you to step up to it, then hell, I should do it too, right? So it is February 20th, 2019, because I wrote this in February. And I, Cindy McKnight, am so happy and grateful now that I am receiving $45,150 per month in residual income from my Global New Skin Enterprises business. I easily and effortlessly accomplished my daily habits that bring me success. I experience joy each day knowing that what I'm doing is being of service to others and myself. I am a powerful and compassionate leader of leaders, and my ability to guide people to their own success is what has led me to my life of abundance and freedom. With my perseverance, positivity, tenacity, and sheer consistency, I am well on my way to being known as one of the top earners of this decade with this company. Once I began to focus on taking the necessary time for my own organization, instead of giving everyone else all of me all the time, I was able to grow my organization much, much faster. Sticking to a daily task list, as funny as that sounds, is what helped me stay organized and focused on the action steps necessary to increase my income. This is when my business changed completely. I no longer felt like I was drowning in what should I be doing that is most important right now. I focused on doing a little bit each day and poured my energy into the people who craved what I wanted to. What I've been able to create for my family and for others is hard for the average person to fathom. To think that a little over 1 year ago, I didn't even know who or what Nu Skin was, to now being a Blue Diamond Team Elite, going on several incredible vacations a year, giving motivational speeches to people looking to change their life, and living in the kind of freedom that I had only heard about in conversation. It's mind-boggling. Each and every brick of my empire is constructed of the thousands of women that I have helped in some way, shape, or form. Their stories are the writings that fill my skyscraper and will forever be imprinted on my heart. I'm ugly crying, I'm sorry. As a result of my genuine effort, we are living a debt-free life. As I look out the window of our brand new Tesla, a car that my husband has only dreamed about up until this point, I see my children run along the shoreline that's now our backyard. I wave to Steve as he makes yet another minor change to the plans of our dream house. If you knew my husband, you would laugh. That we broke ground on last week, on the lake that we have grown to love I'm so sorry. That we broke ground on last week on the lake that we've grown to love over the last 10 years. Knowing that my parents are right down the street from me now, because I was able to retire my dad and purchase a home for my parents in New Hampshire. My soul finally feels at ease. Without the pressure of providing for my mentally ill brother, they can finally live in freedom as well. My brother's needs are met with a cozy home of his own, care that he needs, and a trust fund to help lessen his everyday stressors. He is so deeply involved in our foundation to help those who suffer from mental illness now, that all the struggle has finally been for something. There is a reason behind his suffering. Thank you, God, for it is done. I'm going to jump off of here. I love all of you. Bye.
It's hard for me to watch. I forgot that it existed. Again, I did not have any team when I wrote that. But I knew what I wanted. I sat down and I thought about, what do I want? What does this look like? What will this bring into my life? How will I be able to give and serve in ways that I can't right now? I didn't have a team when I wrote that. When I read that, like I said, I was making about $300 extra per month. You guys, the only person that is putting limits on your life and on your potential is you. And sometimes you just need somebody to look at you, and I'll be that person today. Somebody to look at you and say, I am tired of my own BS. Yeah, I said it. I'm tired of my own BS. As you stare down the barrel of a new year, how are you going to set yourself up differently than the past however many years you've gone into a new year? It all starts by making a plan, planning out, what do you want? What do you want? Most of you probably don't even you really haven't even thought about it. You're like, extra money would be nice. It'd be cool to hit officer. It would be cool to hit chairperson 5,000. But what would that actually mean in your life? How would things change? I read that out loud to myself every single day, and I had the same reaction every single day. I would bawl my eyes out and crumble to the floor. I let myself feel what these things would feel like. I celebrated that success long before it even happened. In my mind, it was done. This is done. Now I've just got to get up off the floor and go put in the actions that are actually going to get me there. By the time I stood back up, I was bulletproof. Bad day, hard day, good day, sad day. Didn't matter. Didn't matter who said no. Didn't matter who said yes. Didn't matter who joined and who quit. I was crystal clear on where I was going and how I was going to feel when I got there. I know that life brings a lot of different challenges that you have to face. I know that. I have faced challenges that I never, ever saw coming. And it's valid. But you do need the daily reminder of, why are you doing this? Why do you do the things that you do? So my challenge to you is you're going to take these templates that James is going to give you. Take some real time. Don't just jot some stuff on paper. Take some serious time to work through this worksheet. Put your heart and spill it out onto paper. And I didn't even ask James for permission, but I'm just going to roll with it.
Go for it.
I'm going to give the extra challenge that I gave to my baby team 6 years ago that I put on myself. Go live in your training group. Read it out loud. Feel the emotions. Share your dreams and your weaknesses with others. Because 6 years from now, when you're sitting in the place that I'm sitting, and you can look back on the earlier version of yourself and you're able to say, I actually did that. You will inspire tens of thousands of people. So that's my challenge to you. Not only write it, go live in front of your people. Lead by example. Don't tell them to do it. You do it and show them you did it. I love you guys. Thank you for having me today in my car with my
Cindy McKnight. Gosh, I'm not crying. You're crying. So this, I'm on that note. You're on the same wavelength, by the way. I want to do something special as well. Who here would love an opportunity to meet one of our executives to really get to know them? Like, I think we're on a mission, guys, to really showcase the Partner Co. Who are the players in this upcoming year? We want to build those relationships. Of course, go to Destin and everything. But who here would love an exclusive meet and greet, private conversation, private time with someone like Darren Zobrist or John Wadsworth? Anyone like? Would that be cool with anyone? Like, these guys are traveling the world. These guys are doing the most craziest things, and we want to make sure that they know who to watch out for. And I know Cindy knows that if you actually do this challenge, which is easy to do, well, it's hard to do, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do, and it will set your life up for forever. Any single person that does this live of your wealth statement. We have a health one, we have a wealth one. So I'll share with you this sheet. I'd encourage do both, right? Do both. We have a health and a wealth. So check the different groups. We're having the captions on this live and everything as well too. Do this worksheet, spend this holidays to do that. And at least if you do your live in your partner group by the end of the year, December 31st, then every single person that actually does that live following this framework, you will get an exclusive invite to this special call. I haven't obviously haven't talked to anyone. I'm gonna ask for a favor, right? Like, come on, guys.
Let's go. Let's do it. I love it.
Yes, yes. Cindy, thank you so much. So proud of you. And you know what I'm excited about? What you just spawned, your live that you had 6 years ago, this exercise, 6 years later, there's going to be hundreds and thousands of people that are going to do the same training. Wow. Gosh. All right. Thanks, Cindy. So appreciate you.
It's an honor. Thank you,
love
guys.
You.